Good morning, Coastal Bend. I'm meteorologist Carly Smith. We officially have a Beryl landfall on the Texas coast this morning. As of 4 a.m., landfall near Matagorda, Category 1, 80-mile-per-hour winds, pressure at 978 millibars. So that's still roughly over 150 miles from Corpus Christi. Missing us. We're missing most of the rain as well, but at least we're also missing the damaging wind. You'll see all of the heavy rainfall, the flooding threat moving across areas just south of Houston, Galveston up this direction, Palacios, Port Lavaca getting some of the rain, some of the heavy high wind as well. Moving through Palacios, that's going to track toward Bay City as we speak. An area I've also been watching pretty closely is sea drift. So while the strongest winds, of course, are right around the eye wall, we're getting some radar indicated. Now this is higher up in the storm, now not down at the surface, but radar indicated winds of 92 miles per hour on the stronger side of the storm, that eastern side of the storm, whereas the western side is showing roughly 74 mile per hour wind, which is still Category 1. And that likely translates more to gusts since it is higher up in the atmosphere because the radar scans going up into the storm. If it stayed at the surface level, it would run into the ground essentially. So what we are looking at, sea drift, is an area I've been watching pretty closely. It looks like your winds are starting to calm down a little bit, but you still are looking at 30 to 40 mile per hour wind gusts. Port Lavaca starting to see some of those heavier wind gusts or stronger wind gusts. But what I want to point out is this is kind of that tricky spot that is right in between the radar of Corpus Christi and Houston. So sometimes it is difficult to get accurate radar information in that region. But Matagorda, the target zone of the center of that eye wall, you see it here. It is a little ragged, a shower. You see a shower popping up outside of one of those outer eye wall bands, but it is moving north at 12 miles per hour. So right now, the location of this storm is 0 miles north of Matagorda, so 0 miles north of Matagorda. That's as of this 4 a.m. update, of course. Gust 85 miles per hour, wind 80 miles per hour, and there is also a tornado warning. So remember, just for the future, this is supposed to be an active hurricane season. There's essentially, a lot of people know as the clean side of the storm and the dirty side of the storm. All of the heavy rain, the strongest wind, and really the tornado threat, that all happens more so on the right side of the storm. Whichever direction a hurricane is moving onto shore, it's that right front quadrant that gets a lot of the worst action of the hurricane, unfortunately. So sea drift, you're seeing a few spotty showers. It's not too bad. Even into portions of Refugio County, Aransas County, we're getting some of those outer band showers, but again, that's the clean side of the storm. So we're not anticipating any tornadoes in the coastal bend, and really most of us are not going to see any rain. Most of the rain will be well off to our east through the Houston area. That's where the flooding threat is. But of course, I do want to point out sea drift is just about 23 miles away from kind of that eye wall. So it is very close. Some of those strongest winds, the heavy rain on that left side of the eye wall. But overall, wind at one point was around 43 miles per hour near sea drift. It really since has weakened. So not too worried there for sea drift, but that's where the strongest wind is at this time for the coastal bend area. One last look at Hurricane Beryl on the radar. It is moving north at 12 miles per hour. Your time now is 4:07 a.m. as Hurricane Beryl has made landfall at Matagorda. So currently the center of the eye wall is in Matagorda. They're getting a break from the rain, but some more rain will be on the way. But again, more of the threat now shifting on that eastern side, which is going to be heavy rainfall as well as the tornado threat and the strong winds. So the latest track for Hurricane Beryl, it was just updated. This is your 4 a.m. update as well. It is going to take its way through Houston between 7 a.m., making it into East Texas by 7 p.m. So the morning commute could be rather messy, maybe if you can work from home, and if you don't have. But basically what I'm trying to say is if you have plans to drive to Houston, maybe just put them off, because they're definitely going to be seeing the worst part of the storm anywhere between the morning commute and into the early afternoon hours before the center does take all of that action a bit more to the north. It's going to pick up a lot of speed and make its way into the Midwest past that. So strongest winds, yeah, still could see some Category 1 wind speeds there through Houston, but then the wind weakens as it gets closer to Lufkin and Tyler. Not anticipating too strong winds, but still could see some tropical storm force winds there close to the Louisiana border. So that's going to do it for this early morning update as Hurricane Beryl makes landfall. Of course, we missed it, so thankfully I'm not reporting on a landfall here in the coastal bend, but we are watching very closely and thinking about the Houston area at this time.